Three, two, one, and we are going live. Hi, guys. So today I have my lovely, lovely guest, Grace, all the way from Italy, from beautiful mountains. Welcome, Grace. How are you today?
Very well. Very glad to be here to talk to you and to your lovely group. I'm so excited that you're a functional medicine clinic.
Yeah. And guys, we were talking with Grace and we forgot what time it is. I was like, oh my gosh, Grace, we need to wrap it up, but we need to go live because Grace has beautiful story. Grace, I don't know how we're gonna do it in 12 minutes, but we will manage to do it. We will manage. Would you love, would you like to talk about, if who you are, what you do, and I don't know, just we try
Yeah,
to
I'll
do
try to
everything.
make it very fast. So I think what I should say is that even though I am in pretty much a medical field now, my training is all actually medieval Italian literature. I'm not going to tell the story about how I dropped out of first grade. Um, that you can hear later. Um, but so the thing is that once I started, I finished my PhD in Italian literature, and and during the time that all the time that I'd been doing my doctorate, I was taking very toxic medication because when I was 23, I didn't start from the beginning. So I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 23, the same time as I decided I wanted to do a PhD in Italian literature. And so all the time that I was working on my doctorate, I was doing this very state-of-the-art, very advanced medical therapy with immunomodulatory drugs. And it took 11 years, and the thing is that they never found a combination of drugs that really worked for me because I they would give me one drug and then it wouldn't I would keep relapsing and they would add another one and I would keep relapsing. And so at the end of the 11 years I was taking two different drugs at two immunomodulatory drugs at the same time, but it ended up being um, 9 shots a week, two intramuscular drugs, intramuscular shots, and nine subcutaneous. And so it was, and when taking that many shots, I really didn't have any skin left. That was one of the things is that the each shot left a welt that would take time to absorb again. Anyway, that was the smallest problem. The more severe problem was that I was since it was immunomodulatory, it was making my whole immune system act strange, totally strange and hypersensitive to everything. And I kept developing more symptoms, and they kept saying, "Well, we don't know what's going on, but we want to." You this thing that this new symptom, your um, raised purple spots, is something we were going to call less like so lupus-like symptoms, syndrome, and so they really didn't know what to do with me. And luckily, right about then, I, I both finished my doctorate and found out I was pregnant. And the neurologist said, "No, you can't take all that toxic medication, and because it's too poisonous for your child." And I thought, wait a minute, it was okay for me to take for 11 years and destroy my immune system, but now it's too toxic for my son. Um, anyway, that was that was the end of that relationship with the hospital doctors, and luckily, so that was really a dead end. All the things I'd been doing before had to stop, and I had to find a new way to do things. And uh, so what I did was I looked for a midwife because I knew that midwives work with natural birth. I didn't want to go to the hospital because I knew they would
Mhm.
probably cut me open and do all kinds of things I didn't want to do. And so I found this wonderful midwife who started talking to me about physiology. And she said, "Well, do you know about physiology?" I said, "I know what physiology is, but I'd never really thought about it." And so she started asking me, "Well, what have you tried to help your MS?" And I said, "Well, I've been taking this drug and this drug and this." No, she said, "Have you worked with diet?" And I said, "No." Have you looked at homeopathy? And I said, "What's that?" I kind of knew what homeopathy was, but I'd never tried it. And she introduced me all kinds of new things that I had never heard of. Um, And most of all, she introduced this idea that I could work with physiology and not try to suppress it with pharmacology, right? And so that was a totally new way to approach the world. And
Yeah.
that it was really good because she got me through the pregnancy. I was totally fine, no relapses, no problems, no nothing. My child was born um, at home, the most beautiful birth I could possibly imagine. And then she had the baby class after the prenatal class, the baby class, and in which she taught us about how we should wean our children. And she explained that. I mean, in Italy, people tend to think that children need to eat pureed foods because they don't have any teeth, right? And I mean, that's logical. You don't have any teeth, you got to have it, ground up. And she said, no, 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 no. It's children don't have teeth because they're not ready for foods. And so the way you figure out what food the child is ready to eat is by
Mhm.
looking at teeth. And so if the child has bunny teeth, then it means he can eat bunny food. If he's got molars, that means he can grind stuff. And he's got seeds and legumes and whatever. And no meat until they have canines. And so I followed that scheme, and actually she told us about this scheme before it was actually time to wean our kids. But so I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. And I asked her then, what if my immune system is really messed up? Do you think that if I ate what my son eats, do you think that might help me? And she said, I don't know. Um, why don't you try? And of course, my in-laws said, "Oh, you're going to die of starvation without pasta. What are you going to do?" I didn't die of starvation. Nobody died of starvation, and most of all the terrible allergies and um, attacks all the time and all that was completely
Wow.
calmed and eliminated. And so my son, we ate the same things all the time he was being weaned, and he was fine. I had no more reactions. And the best thing was that even after he was weaned, which is another transition that can be risky, they say, oh, nursing is protective, but when you stop nursing, who knows? We're not going to be responsible for what happens. And nothing happened. And it's been 22 years old, 22 years now. My son is 21. Yeah,
Wow, amazing. What amazing story. And Grace, would you like to touch a little bit what you are doing now and the beautiful research that you are doing and all that work about autoimmunity, right, that you are doing? If you
exactly.
don't mind, tell us a little bit more to the community. What is that project? What's involved? And yeah, please.
Yeah, very gladly. So this experience, it took me, it took me a really long time to realize that I could probably teach this to other people, and so that's what I want to do now. I've done it with, so after my son started going to school, I started studying energy medicine, and so I've been studying Chinese medicine and different kinds of energy healing for a while. And I just realized that I could integrate that with my experience with resetting my immune system with diet. And so that's what I'm doing now. I have a program that helps people with autoimmune problems reset their immune systems using my method and with the support of some energy work. And the so that's launching actually in January, I hope. And what I'd like to do is actually make it a proper scientific study because I've done it with 3 people and everybody's done really well. So they've stopped having relapses. They've stopped their decline of their autoimmune disease. But I want to make this into a large scale project because I think it's really useful. So I'm looking for funding and I'm looking for also right now with my pilot program, I want people to do microbiome testing before they start, maybe
Mhm,
halfway through, and then after they've done the reset,
mhm,
and maybe sometime out to see what happens after they've gone back to living normal life, their normal lives. Um, just to keep track of, because I'm anticipating that the the first microbiome tests will show that their microbiome is really wonky. That's a technical term. And that after doing the reset, it's probably going to be much more normalized and much more healthy. And so that's something that would be a scientific data point besides how they feel and how many attacks or non-attacks they've had over the time that they've been in the program. So I'm anticipating the program lasting a year. The weaning process lasts 7, 8 months. It's slow, and I don't think there's any way to really hurry it up because you're rebuilding your microbiome, and you can't just, I mean,
Yeah.
you can take all kinds of
Yeah.
mm,
And
pills and whatever, but anyway.
can I
Yeah,
ask
so
you?
I'm looking for funding right away to help the people who would like to participate in the program but can't afford to buy the um,
Yeah.
microbiome testing kits. I'm not sure if you have
Yeah.
a, a source for those, and the person I was looking at, the place I was looking at is like $800 per kit,
Oh,
and so
wow.
each person can have to use 2 or 3 of those, and so that's a lot. Also, because a lot of people with autoimmune disease don't work or they have severe economic problems. Um, so I
Yeah.
wanted to be able to help those people, and um, for the ones who don't have economic problems, I want to offer a this year-long coaching program that gives
Yeah.
them both the immune reset and some work for helping them integrate the transformation that they're going through. Because also a lot of people, when they do this, I'm anticipating they'll realize that they can't be the same person as they were when they got sick. And so that's another part of my work is to help them
Yeah.
integrate who they've become and who they always were, but whom they've rediscovered. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Grace, what exactly, what symptoms are you looking for people who have autoimmunity, MS, like anything like that, that is the
Yeah,
symptom?
my idea is that all autoimmunity is basically the same problem. It just depends on where the system is broken.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weakened for the same reasons and it's rebuilt with the same way, in the same way. Um, that's my personal idea.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you, being a
No,
functional
no,
what do you think
absolutely.
about that?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you are actually someone with autoimmune, or if you know someone in your family or in a friend surrounding it, someone is living with autoimmune, do get in touch with Grace. I'm gonna tag Grace here. And Grace, if you have any links or how to find you, maybe you could leave it in the comments under this video as well, or email or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Just Grace Barden,
Yeah.
PhD, and there's my picture, and it says I help autoimmune,
Yeah.
professional women with autoimmune disease, whatever, whatever. So that's me. It has a way to contact me. Otherwise, you can write to me on email. So my email address is G as in Grace,
Yeah.
H as in hotel, L Bardin, Bardin, at gmail.com. And that'll get to me.
Yeah.
And I have a link that you can sign up for, and I have to, can I email that to you afterward?
Yeah, we can share it and I can put it myself in
Okay.
there. You can even message me on the messenger and I can
Okay.
share it with the
Yeah, because
guys.
I don't have it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's easier for people to get in touch. And guys, if you have any questions, I'm gonna tag Grace in this video. Do ask, do get engaged, or just privately message to Grace, whichever way feels for you comfortable. And it's a privilege to have Grace, who actually she went herself through MS, through all autoimmunity. It's no fun, and healed, and it's possible to do it. And now if there is anyone also in the community that would love to support Grace with her amazing project that she wants to run and she's running, so please do get in touch as well. So Grace, is there anything else that you would like to add?
That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much,
Love
Grace. And thank
people
you.
listening.
And thank you guys so much for watching. And as I said, any questions, do put your comments or contact Grace directly. Thank you so much. And we will see you the next time. Yeah. Thank you, Grace, for being here.
Thank you.
Just stay for 1 sec. I'm just going to stop the live. Thank you so much.
Okay.